Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol Kentucky bourbon whiskeys. This is 10 high. I don't have much left, as you can see, down to the last probably two challenges left. Sour mash 10 high Kentucky bourbon whiskey, a blend. Bottled by Barton Distilling Company, Bardstown, Kentucky, Los Angeles, California. Yeah, I forgot about the California location. Established in 1879. Well, no, 10 High came out in 1934. But what they're showing there is Hiram Walker. It was called Hiram Walker 10 High. And that's Hiram Walker, Canadian/American distilling pioneer. He started his company in 1879. Now, Hiram Walker got bought by Barton, and Barton got bought by the Sazerac company. So that's the story on that. But they did keep the reference to the original Hiram Walker thing. It's got a cream colored label, looks nice, red, brown, and gold trim. It's got an embossed paper label here. It says 10 High Bourbon, Sour Mash with the eagle. The new label has the eagle on it, no longer has Hiram Walker on it. So they have given that up. 51% straight whiskey, 4 years old or more, 49% grain neutral spirits. So it's a blended bourbon, which can have up to 49% unaged grain alcohol in it, which this one has. But the straight bourbon is aged 4 years. Forgot to add that. Let's add that. Aged 4 years and 49% grain neutral spirits. This is out of production. They replaced it with a new 10 High bourbon with natural flavors. So that's what I can tell you about that. Here's Bird Dog. Now, I paid $9.99 for this at Mathern's, okay? Mathern's Market. This is Bird Dog. They call it the Irish Setter bottle. People call it that. It's not what it's really called, but that's what people call it, the Irish Setter bottle. It's not really common, but I did find it at Walmart, and it was $10 on closeout. So what the heck? I may as well buy it, right? Bourbon whiskey, select stock, which means it's selected. It's sourced from somewhere in Kentucky. And it's bottled for Western Spirits by Three Springs. I couldn't remember the name. Three Springs Distilling Company. Three Springs Bottling Company bottles it for Western Spirits. So it's sourced and then sourced. All right. $10. That was not the regular price. It was like 20 something. No age statement. Real cork. You can see that. It's not a bad product, but it's nothing too exciting. Okay, so I paid $10. I wasn't looking to buy it. Okay, I mean, I would not have tracked this down and bought it. I mean, I might have eventually bought it, but since they had it for closeout at $10, I couldn't pass that up. This was the normal price, $9.99. Now they still have it over there for $9.99, but they only have the new bottles, the new 10 High. These all sold out. I bought one. My friend David got one, and then maybe one or two left. Somebody else bought those. So that was the end of the story with 10 High. 10 High blended bourbon. Years ago, they used to have a 10 High. Supposedly 2009 was the year, but I can't confirm that. There was a 10 High straight bourbon for a long time. Then after Sazerac bought the thing, they dropped it to a blended bourbon, which is allowed. It's a class of bourbon. They're also allowed to add flavoring and coloring to blended bourbon. and they don't have to talk about it on the label. Disclosure is not required. So this could very well have coloring and flavoring added. I don't know. And this other one's just bourbon. It doesn't say straight bourbon. Don't know why. Because it's aged at least 4 years. It's all from Kentucky, but can't explain it. The appearance, this one's a little darker, but I can't remember which one it was. That's why I got labels at the bottom, thankfully. You can see it's more copper. This one's more gold. Wings and Pizza says, have tried the Bird Dog flavored products. They were not bad for the price. Yeah, the flavored ones I see all around. They're really common. But the regular, just regular bourbon, and there's more than one. There's like a barrel proof version or something like that, but I don't really see those. Like I said, Walmart had it, and the reason they got rid of it is probably when nobody was buying it. So they just dumped it for $10. Of course, it sold out quick then. But otherwise, I guess. And look, blame the company. They do nothing to promote it. You look on their website, mention it. They'll talk about all the flavors, and then they'll say, and we also make regular unflavored bourbon, just regular bourbon, but they say nothing about it. That's really not helpful. The parent company of Bird Dog is called Western Spirits, and if you look on their website, there are other things that they make. Now, I guess we could look that up real quick. Won't hurt. Western Spirits. Bowling Green, Kentucky. So I'll just give you a real quick look of what they make. We have a robust national footprint for this and are aligned with leading partners in the spirits industry. Brands, Bird Dog whiskey. As you know, we see that everywhere. But you see they don't show anything. But from award-winning flavored whiskeys to traditional Kentucky straight bourbons, the Bird Dog whiskey brand presents a unique offering of spirits. Fine, but they don't show any of the regular ones. See? Also offers premium Kentucky bourbons without flavoring added. These products are crafted in the traditional bourbon processes with extreme care, quality, and consistency. All of the Bird Dog Kentucky bourbon products have won multiple bourbon competitions around the United States. So your page not found. Oh well. Too bad. Doesn't even have the same shape bottle. That farm bourbon, see that everywhere. Yes, I do. A little higher grade stuff to here. Don't know much about it, except that I've seen it. Sam Houston bourbon. Don't think I recall seeing that ever before. Might be good. 15-year age. So these are extra aged. 20 grand vodka. Yeah, I see that everywhere. These are flavored vodkas. Few cognac. These are like, yeah, just vodka blends. Seem to be popular though. 20 grand. Yeah, I see these all around. So seems to have a following. Can't say anything about it because I never tried it. Say I've seen it. Under construction. So there's no information on Marfan tequila. Must be something new. Lex. Yes. Same Bird Dog type. I think I have seen this. And no, I don't know anything about it. Crew vodka? No, I never saw that. French wheat and extra pure spring water. All right. Who knows? Might be good. And Bokeelia rum. No, I'm not. Yeah, but it might be good, you know. All right, so there's a company there. Not like Sazerac, you know, not big like them, but it's big, you know, probably medium size, I guess we'd say medium size. Yes. It's very overcast. I don't think we're going to get sun the whole week. Can't control that. I have to take my glasses off and I have to close my eyes because if I see that darker thing, well, wait a minute, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter because I don't remember which was which. If I see the darker one, so what? The Sam Houston 15 years probably pricey. Yeah, most likely it is. Just smells like corn. Now, the first one I got wrong. I tried to, you know, I was saying, I'll guess it, and I didn't guess it correctly. I was irritated when I went up against Old Charter. Because Old Charter is very bland and Bird Dog is very bland. So I put bland against bland and I got a tie and I tried to call it and I got it wrong. This smells like corn. Corn, fermented and then distilled corn grits. All right. Guess yellow corn grits. I had yellow corn grits here at the house. Yeah, a little mustier over here. Now the sour mash might give it away. Like, so I know one is sour mash, so maybe that little sourdough bagel type of flavor will be my clue. The appearance won't be because I didn't pay any mind to which was lighter and which was darker when I was pouring it, which is probably a good thing. Vanilla, corn, sugar water, oak, char. All of it's very tamped down. Like it's not a bold flavor. It's mild. I guess a mild flavor. I guess I'm saying it correctly. A mild flavor. Like I say, 10 high could have flavoring added, but I can't say it does. I say it's allowed. It's not required. Certainly not required, but it is allowed. Certain bourbons, people make a blanket statement. Bourbon can't have flavoring added. Well, it's not true. All right. Bourbon itself cannot. Straight bourbon cannot. Bottled in bond bourbon cannot. But blended can. A blend of straight bourbons is allowed to have flavoring. Now, why that's allowed, I do not know. But you can look and it'll say, so you take all these straight bourbons, none of which can have flavoring. You blend them together, then you can add flavor. Now, explain that one. So the regulations are very, I would say inconsistent and strange, but I just know what I read on us.gov website, ttb.gov. This one's woodier. This one has more oak. So this one's more vanilla. This one's oakier, charred oak. One thing is certain. We know they're not aging these in used barrels because they couldn't be called bourbon. They would automatically be disqualified as bourbon. We know that much. It's new barrels, new, never before used charred oak. Now, if they want to age in used barrels, that's no problem. They just have to call it American blended whiskey, like 10 high. It's just whiskey. 10 high, not 10 high. I meant to say early times because that's another Sazerac brand by acquisition. Another one of those acquisitions. Early times is just called whiskey. WHISKY, by the way. No E. WHISKY. And I was reading the regulations the other day and it said whiskey can be spelled KEY or KY. U.S. government law officially can be either way. The U.S. government chooses the Scottish way, Canadian way, WHISKY. Any U.S. government document, it'll say whiskey, WHISKY. All right. Which one do I prefer? It's hard to say, but I guess I would give an advantage to this one because it has a little more deeply charred oak. And I think it must be the Bird Dog. But you may as well buy whichever. I would say just get whatever one's cheaper because can you still find some of these hanging around? These bottles from like 2009 to 2019, 2020. Yeah, you can find them hanging around here and there, not too commonly anymore, but you'll see them around, I guess. Mostly you'll see the eagle bottle. I call it the eagle bottle, the 10 high with the eagle on it. It says America's Spirit. That's the one you're going to normally see. Because that's the new one that replaced this one. I think they I used to see them on the shelf next to each other, like they had this and then the new one. So I think they phased it out. I think they started bringing in the new as they phase out the old, just so they intentionally had an overlap so that people maybe wouldn't notice. Because I kept wondering why they had two different labels. But I just thought, oh, they changed the label, make it more modern or something. But when I checked carefully, I realized they had changed the product. It wasn't for like years, for like a couple of years, I just thought they changed the label. And then one day I looked at the label carefully. I said, wait a minute. Bourbon with natural flavors. I said, they changed the product. And they no longer give a ratio. They no longer say 51% straight, 49% neutral. And they don't claim it's a blended bourbon anymore. They just say it's a bourbon. You say, oh, it's some cheap bourbon they're trying to get rid of. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious when you can get a new bottle right now, 2025 for $9.99. It's probably just some of the Buffalo Trace stuff that didn't come out quite right. So they add a little flavoring to mask that fact. And they sell it for cheap. And people buy it. Go read your review. Read the reviews on like Total Wine and More for 10 high, the current 10 high, not this one. They're not bad. I mean, some are, but most of the reviews, people say, yeah, it's all right. I buy it. I bet you 99% of the people that buy it don't even notice that it says what natural flavors added. You ever notice people don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. You say, well, the whiskey hobbyists do. Yeah, hobbyist. The regular consumer, pay any mind to that. It's like soda pop, high fructose corn syrup versus soda sugar, cane sugar. How many people pay attention to that? Not too many, I'm pretty sure, but a handful do. A handful. I do, and I've noticed a significant difference. Orange Crush, I bought they call it Crush Orange now, not Orange Crush. Introduced in 1911. I found some pure cane sugar Orange Crush Orange. I can't learn to say Crush Orange. But I found some at Winn-Dixie, $3.99. No, $4.99, $1.25 each. But I paid it because that's what they charge, and it's pure cane sugar. And that thing is so strong on orange peel. It's so obvious that they're using orange peel. Orange peels probably cast off from, like I say, a wholesaler that's got oranges that you could never sell. You could never sell them at the produce section in the store because people would throw them back. They wouldn't buy them. They're turned. They're off, But the peel's probably all right. Might have bruises all over it and looks horrible, but Keurig Dr. Pepper buys that, or I should say their contractor buys that because it says made under license. It doesn't say it's made by Dr. Pepper. It said made by under license of Keurig Dr. Pepper. And I don't know who's doing that. You let that soak in the orange peels for a few days or weeks and strain it out. it's going to have a really significantly noticeable flavor. But that's another video. But I was at Winn-Dixie last week again because it's a mile from my house or less than a mile, and they had Stewart's orange cream soda. Stewart's. I said I never heard of Stewart's. I don't know who is Stewart. You know, look what I can do. I don't know what that was. So I looked it up and I said, there's a website for it. Real cane sugar, been around since the 1920s. And I said, well, what do you know? It's also owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper, pure cane sugar. So they went around buying up little companies, IBC, International Independent Bottling Company, no longer independent. IBC. They bought Orange Crush, and they acquired Stewart's. And I can't testify to Stewart, but I sure did like the price, $3.99. So $1 a bottle. To try that, I would pay for it, but I got too much back stock at the moment. I could show you all a new one I bought last week. This is really fancy, and I had to buy it because every time Mathern's gets it on the shelf, it's gone in a week. They can get a 12-pack, 12 4-pack bottles, right? Which is only 48. But they'll be gone. I checked this week and they had 3 packs left. So I bought it. If y'all want to see what I bought, you might have a heart attack when I show you. Sir, how the heck are you? Says Butch Willie. I'm fine. Hope you're doing well. Okie doke. Well, here we go. I'm calling this the Bird Dog only by virtue of it having a slight, I'd like to see it when you have the time. Okay. Only by virtue of having a slightly, and I mean slight, so it's practically nothing, you know, but there's a slight more charred oak flavor, but honestly, it's not much. And I'm taking a big risk on these. I got this one right, so that puts me at 1 win, 1 loss. I'm not particularly confident in this series because I don't think Bird Dog is a standout, and I have a feeling I'm going to get it confused half the time. So if I do 12 taste challenges, I don't know how many bourbons I've got open. Might be about 12. I'd be glad if I got it 6 wins, 6 losses, to tell you the truth. So what conclusion am I reaching so far? I'm reaching a conclusion that Bird Dog is not a bad product, but it doesn't stand out. It's no better or worse than any other run-of-the-mill bourbon, which is not a bad thing, especially since I only paid $10, not the normal 20-something dollars for it. I might have been a little irritated if I'd have paid 20-something bucks and it's coming across like blah. Let me look up some prices for Bird Dog Select stock. Bird Dog Select stock. Pequot Spirits has a handle for $39.99. Pequot Spirits. I don't know where Pequot Spirits is. Jensen's Liquor has it. Specs. Oh, I don't think this is the same thing. They're saying blended whiskey. Let's see. Remedy Liquor. Okay, let's check these out. So Pequot Spirits has Bird Dog for $39.99 for a handle. That's a 1,750 milliliter bottle. That's not a bad price when you think about it. Oh, they're in New York State. Well, you know, New York's kind of expensive. Okay. You can still get handles of Eagle Rare in Louisiana from time to time. Jensen's Liquors since 1978. Oh, $14.99 for a regular bottle. Well, that's super cheap. $14.99. Maybe it's a closeout. Bird Dog Select Stock Kentucky Bourbon is barrel aged to the right balance of body and flavor. This bluegrass crafted bourbon has a mash bill of corn, rye, and malted barley. I know that's coming from the distillery. You know it's not coming from Ginseng liquors, corn, rye, and malted barley. Typical bourbon mix. Polished copper color, notes of toasted oak and sweet fruit, smooth, warm, with accents of spice and light bursts of honey. Long and sweet finish. I don't know about that. More like short and sweet. More like short and dry, unveiling all flavors. Oh, really? Miami, Florida. Okay. Jensen's Liquor, Miami, Florida. Well, Florida's a lot cheaper than New York, I think. Bird Dog blended whiskey. Come on, Specs, get it together. Specs was a big liquor chain in Texas. They got the same write-up as the other company I just read. So obviously it's a sell sheet from the distributor. Well, how is it a blended whiskey and they're saying Kentucky bourbon? I know bourbon is blended, corn, rye, wheat, maybe, barley, but it's not a blend. It's clearly not a blended whiskey. So Specs needs to inspect their website, but they don't have a they don't have that in stock at Beaumont, and I'm not going to go on a big search. Last call, Remedy Liquor. Sugarland, Texas. Well, that's not far. Oh, Los Angeles, California, New York, New York, and Sugarland. That's strange, huh? That they would have a store in Texas, a store in New York, Jamaica, New York. That's Brooklyn. I'm sorry, Queens, and Glendale, California. That is strange. But well, whatever. Yeah, 19.99. Okay, like I said, about $20. I thought it was more than 20, so I got it for half. Cool. All right. Most of the time, I usually only buy handles due to the unit pricing, as you know. Yeah, unit pricing is the way to shop. 10 high is for mixing. It's rough. It's not rough. 1,200 hobos. It's not rough. It's just kind of dull. There's nothing rough about this. Nah, no way. I don't agree with that. It's not rough. In fact, it's kind of smooth. It's just bland, sort of on the bland side. Now, this person, IOM, says, I make my own version of cheap whiskey about. You make your own whiskey by taking vodka and let it age for 2 months with cedar wood in a mason jar? Well, okay. So the winner is Bird Dog, but only by a sliver. So I would just get whatever's cheaper, I'll be honest. Now, you want to see what I have? Okay, I'll show you I'm going to do that in my mix-up videos, with the liquor, with the vodka. Okay. May as well grab this. I got enough for one more taste challenge. Maybe two. Actually, I got more than I thought. Maybe two. Now, here's an unusual product, viewers. I don't think it's been on the market even 1 year, not even a year. I kept this because I want to show it when I do my mix-ups. I can turn off the lamps now. Frost Top Imperial Special Draft Root Beer. Not the regular old Frost Top in the plastic bottles. Certified kosher. Real cane sugar and pure clover honey. Caffeine free. This is the Imperial Special Draft Frost Top. And it's showing a Frost Top restaurant from like the 1950s. And then a current one, which is close to me, which is still open. And they do light up like that at night. And they have a neon root beer sign. And it slowly turns around. I think it still turns around. It got blown over by the hurricane one time. A hurricane. And they had to it was luckily not damaged as bad as you would think. And it's produced by FBG Bottling Group of Columbus, Ohio, which I know nothing about. So this is the root beer, the Imperial Special Draft. And they claim they also make a cream soda, Imperial cream soda, with real clover honey or vanilla, real vanilla extract, real cane sugar. But I haven't seen the cream soda. Now I can find regular frost top root beer with probably 12 different flavors, but they all made with high fructose corn syrup. So I'm not gonna do those. I'm not gonna mess with that. But here it is, bottles, 12-ounce bottles. I think it was $4.49 for the 4-pack, which, considering, that's not a bad thing. So I'm going to try that with the vodkas I have. So I'm pretty excited. I'll have to research this company in Columbus, Ohio. Well, there you go. Last comments. Butch Willie says, I know you have little interest, but have you thought about buying Tito's? I have thought about it, but I probably won't do it, but I might. I only asked because I believe it's the best-selling vodka in the United States. It's probably one of the top, might be the best. Remember they had that lawsuit where the guy was suing them because he said it wasn't handcrafted because it was done in a factory. And the judge was like, handcraft is not a legal term. If they press a button in the factory, then it's handcrafted because they use their hand to press a button. So the term handcrafted is meaningless. It's like craft beer. That doesn't mean anything. Every beer is crafted in some form. Personally, I think it's a little overpriced. I can get a handle of Wheatley from Buffalo Trace for $21. A handle for $21. So I know it's technically not real whiskey, but it's very economical. I use cedar because that's the kind of trees I have in the backyard. I use Vitali because that's where I live in Louisiana. It's the cheapest. Yeah, I see Vitali all the time at Albertsons, right? It's a Sazerac brand, but they'll use some alias parent company name, but that sounds like a very trivial issue. What sounds like a trivial issue? I'm not following you now. All right. Well, anyway. Oh, the lawsuit. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I was dismissed, because it was ridiculous. Like somebody buying Blue Moon and claiming he thought it was a craft beer, so he was going to go to court and sue them because he found out it was owned by Coors. That lawsuit didn't go anywhere because, like I said, craft beer is not a legal term. It's a marketing term. All right. So there was no damage because there was nothing. There was nothing there. All right, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.